Hey, good morning, y'all. Welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. Thank you for tuning in. Um, wow, okay, so this is on the headlines situation with Will Smith, and I just wanted to look and see exactly what happened. And okay, so now I see what happened. So, if you guys don't know, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, and Chris Rock made a comment about Jada Pinkett Smith's alopecia, and this upset Will Smith, and he went up there and slapped him. I really think that this is a culmination of people roasting Jada in general, and I just think that people have gotten to the point where they just feel like they can say whatever they want to say about this man's wife. And I feel like for him, it was the ultimate sign of disrespect. It's one thing for you to get on a blog and roast his wife, or get on a podcast and roast his wife, or be disrespectful like in your own space, but to be in this man's space and disrespect his wife in his face, it was just too much. It's just too much. It was just something that he was not going to be able to deal with. I don't think it's right that he lost his control, his emotional control, and he slapped this guy, but at the same time, he could have did things behind the scenes. He could have, tried to keep Chris Rock from opportunities. He could have, uh, gotten some bad press on him. He could have done a lot of things behind the scenes, or even just whatever. But he disrespected him. He disrespected his wife on national TV. So he got disrespected on national TV. So he got disrespected exactly where the disrespect happened. Is it right? I'm not gonna say it's right, but I'm gonna say it's they were both wrong. Like, he was wrong to say something about her hair loss. And this is the thing about alopecia and other forms of hair loss. Why, if she had cancer, Chris Rock would be the villain, right? Chris Rock would be a villain, like, oh my God, she has cancer. Why would you say something about her losing her hair? But because it's alopecia, you get to be rude and disrespectful to a woman. You get to say whatever you want to a woman as a grown ass man, because she's losing her hair because of alopecia. First of all, this woman is gorgeous, with hair, without hair, with blonde hair, with black hair, with blue hair, with curly hair, with straight hair, with no hair. She is beautiful, and she is a woman. So, as a grown ass man, why are you getting on stage being negative and calling out a woman on what's supposed to be a good day? It's supposed to be a celebratory day. Like, why? That is wrong. And everybody taking liberties to just interject themselves into this couple's marriage is just too much. Listen, they do not have a conventional marriage, and it hasn't been conventional for years. However, everybody that's involved in whatever they have, whatever type of relationship configuration they have, it's all consenting adults. Everybody is a consenting adult. There's no this is not a Ti and Tiny situation, okay? This is a out of the box, non-conformist, unconventional marriage that they have the right, as two grown adults that are honest with one another and who have whatever agreements that they have the right to engage in the type of relationship that they want to. And society does not want to accept that about them. They want to try to force them into the mold that they want them to have. and they wanna be critical of Will and critical of him because he is engaging in a different relationship form with his wife. But nonetheless, they're still together, they raised their children. They raised their children, now their children are able to make it on their own, make their own career, make their own path. They did what they were supposed to do. They got their children to the other side. And you've never heard him be disrespectful to his wife, and you've never heard her be disrespectful to him. They have a respect for one another. And people just cannot accept the fact that they have a different configuration in their relationship, and they need to let it go. Black men are still butthurt, and that's why they're so vicious towards Jada. Black men are so butthurt behind her relationship with August Alsina, and they take every single opportunity on a public platform to disparage her and try to degrade her character. Because it's okay for men to have extramarital affair, but this isn't even an extramarital affair because, like I said, they have a non-traditional marriage. But the way that it is being interpreted by mainstream society as infidelities, even though that's not technically what's happening. So Will Smith can have 15 mistresses, but she cannot have one relationship outside of her marriage. She is now, black men see her as the scum of the earth. They see her as the butt of every joke. And Chris Rock took that slap not only for his commentary, his joke, his disrespect of Jada in that moment, but he also took that slap for all the black men like him who feel entitled and emboldened to disparage Jada every moment they get. They're still butthurt like it's their fucking wife. It's like, this is not even your wife. Why are you so worried about what she's doing, what he's doing, what they agreed on, what they did, and who she's like? Why are you so worried? The entitlement is is off the chain. And they feel like they're gonna try to roast and disparage and demean Jada into perpetuity forever as a way to what? Try to get other black women in line? Like, don't you ever think about, pursuing a type of relationship that you want to or no. And you think that you're just gonna sit up and everything's gonna be just fine and you're gonna disrespect this man's wife because she has a medical condition and you're going to disrespect her on a public platform and there will be no consequences. Now, we can argue, did the consequence, punishment fit the crime? What was it, the right time and place? Yeah, all that can be argued. All that is debatable for sure. However, the simple fact of what you did when you did, yeah, there was going to be repercussions to your actions. Like, what grown man is going to just be fine with you disrespecting his wife for her medical condition? 'Cause black women are for the shits and giggles at all times. It's always open season to make jokes at black women's expense. It has gotten up there, and if he had gotten up there and made jokes about a white woman losing her hair, more people would be on Will's side. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. People want to try to make it like, oh, violence, and they want to try to blow everything out of proportion. But if it had been the right person that, especially if the person had cancer. If that was a white woman who had cancer and he made fun of her hair loss, everyone would be applauding Will Smith for taking a stand for righteousness. They'd be like, "Oh, well, he, it was just too out of line," and they would be sweeping it under the rug. It's like they feel like Black women's honor never needs to be protected. Like it's sacrilege to protect a Black woman's honor as though we are not deserving of someone protecting our honor as Black women. And we too, we are deserving of someone to protect our honor. Especially, her talking there have been so many women and other people who have been inspired by her talking about her journey with alopecia and, the courage that it takes to cut your hair low and, show your beauty from a different perspective gives women so like, I don't mind wearing weave, but some women don't wanna wear weave, and they don't wanna wear wigs. And so, you know, coming out to an event such as this without a wig to show that you can look beautiful no matter what's going on with your hair, that is admirable and that is courageous. And she's beautiful no matter what's going on with her hair. And as a husband, Will Smith is supporting his wife in however way she wants to show up, with, without hair, whatever, doing her red table talk or doing whatever she wants to do. He's always supported her. She had a show, she used to be in a band, or she used to have a band. Whatever she does, he supports her. So, um, he's supporting her on this alopecia journey as well. And he knows the behind the scenes. He knows what it took for her to what she's been dealing with this situation. He's abreast to that. He knows what emotional, um, you know, transitions and things that she has had to deal with behind the scenes with this hair loss. So yeah, it hit him very different when he was so disrespectful, when Chris Rock was so disrespectful on stage because he knows what his wife has gone through. Sunnyside says, people aren't used to seeing men care about Black women's feeling. He wasn't supposed to care. Chris was supposed to be able to make a joke about a Black woman and we were supposed to laugh. Yeah. And they're upset that it didn't, hold on. There's so many people who don't want to accept the fact that this man loves his wife deeply, and it was just too much. And Black men that especially those who are look like Chris Rock have taken the most issue with Jada in the past maybe 3 years or so. It was fine when all of Will Smith's different partners were coming out on the blogs, people were speculating about his various different partners and Black men never really had a problem with that. They never, roasted Will for his partners. It was fine. They didn't care. Will was never the butt of the joke. And one partner that Jada was linked to surfaced and the partner himself had a meltdown and violated his NDA. He has all kinds of problems. That was a bad anyway, we can talk about that later. But um they can't get over it. It's like Black men felt personally offended by Jada's partner. Like, no, 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 Black women are not allowed to do this. Only we're allowed to do this. And so you guys think that you're going to make Jada the butt of your jokes and vitriol in perpetuity. And Will Smith just took a public stand and say, no, you're not going to do this. I bet you no one else on a public platform, especially if Will Smith is anywhere in the vicinity, they're going to think really hard before they say anything out of their mouth sideways about Jada. They're going to think real hard about it. They're going to know that it's not It's not a free for all. Jada is not a free for all for you to say any and everything that come out of your mouth. Anything else, it's not. There will be consequences, swift consequences. So think hard before you even attempt to disparage this woman, period. So, sis, I'm so glad you are touching on this. Really dumbfounded by the Black women upset about this, and some even blaming her for it. Not surprised at Black men showing their asses. Well, if a Black woman is upset for Jada, then they're a Black male worshiper, period. Like, that's just all that is. They're just a Black male worshiper who cannot place blame where the blame belongs. And that just is what it is. Black women deserve to have someone defend them publicly. That slap was deeper than just a joke. It felt like vindication. Now he knows how it feels to be humiliated on stage for the world to see. Absolutely, he does. You know, he should know. And like I said, this is a culmination of things. This is a culmination of men like Chris Rock, especially those who look like a Chris Rock, feeling like they have a free for all disparagement campaign against Jada because they are butt hurt about her expanding the possibilities within her relationships because they have a different configuration. They just cannot get over it. It's like they want to make sure to send a message to other Black women, don't you ever dare try to do what we do. You'll be punished. Well, that book stops with will because it's not going to proceed. Says, I'm also sick of people acting like there's no such thing as disrespect as long as it's a joke. Black men are always hiding behind it's a joke with their nasty behavior. Yeah, they do. And it's very childish. You need to be responsible with your words. You got to be responsible with your words. And that's what I was talking about the whole cancer situation. If she had lost her hair due to cancer, it would be off limits. But because it's alopecia, and keep in mind, Black women suffer from alopecia at higher rates than other races of women. So it is an issue that disproportionately affects Black women, different forms of alopecia. So since it's an issue that really affects us, then it's seen as like, oh, it's no big deal. You could just say whatever you want. It's like, what? So you can make fun of sickle cell because sickle cell mostly affects Black people. You know, like where do you draw the line with medical conditions, with what's off limit and on limit, or within limit? And why is cancer this like special sacred, condition that nobody can be mean about? You can be mean about every other medical condition. Black men make fun of Black women no matter what. Um, I was seeing most disgusting comments from Black men and Black women yesterday about about Will being a simp for standing up for his wife. Just horrible. Oh, see there. This is the thing. They cannot stand to see a Black woman being taken care of. If you're a Black man or any man taking care of a Black woman, they see you as a simp. Like, what are you supposed to do? I don't know. Those people who say stuff like that, I don't respect their opinion at all. Um, just because I have a different philosophy, okay? They have a philosophy of um, men being bitch made and pimp like and abusive. And I have a philosophy of men being protectors, keyword protector and provider, which Will has done. He's provided a great life for his family. He might be a lot of things. I'm not saying he's some type of saint or anything. I'm definitely not saying that. He has had a lot of issues. He's had a lot. He's got even some blackmail pathology up in him. Okay? He sure does. He is not a saint by any stretch of the matter. He got some issues. But this man has provided a great life for his family. Just a life of luxury for her and her mama. Okay? These are black women living in luxury over there and their children. So I don't So to see him providing for his family and protecting his wife as simp, that just shows a clear delineation. It just shows a clear line in the sand. We are not on the same page. Okay. We're not on the same philosophical wavelength at all about family uh life. Like every single man that is a good man is a simp. I think like that if I don't call men simps, but if that's what you call them, then we will take all the simps. So if you qualify by your standards to be a simp, send him over here towards us because we'll take care of him. Okay? We want the simps. We like simps. Simps are marriage material. Okay? We don't want the hoes and the philanderers and the abusive motherfuckers and the drug addicts and drug addicts and the dope fiends. We don't want y'all. We want the simps. We literally want the simps. Send them over here. Well, I'll take care of them. Chris Rock knew what he was doing. He called himself humiliating her on a global stage, but Will showed him he couldn't. Exactly. Like, not today. Not today. Hi, smiles for you. Just and that simp mentality is part of the reason why Black women are so unprotected. Yeah. We have to start we have to start showing our support when people show their support for us as Black women. We have to speak up. If any man stands up for our honor, we have to speak up, be heard. That this is the type of behavior that we need. Yeah, was it right? I don't know. I'm not gonna say was it right or wrong. I'm just saying, in principle, I stand with the men who stand for Black women. Black males do not operate like Will. They don't protect their wives, girlfriends, daughters. They are cowardly and weak. Yeah, when Reginae was getting when they were going in on her, did Lil Wayne ever step up for his daughter? When Snoop's dark skinned daughter was going through the S word thoughts and going did Snoop Dogg stand up for his daughter? Did Dr. Dre do anything for his fully Black daughter? When they're out here humiliating their wives, philandering and acting a damn fool, are they thinking about protecting their wives? No. And then and those types, listen, if you praise um a chronic, baby mama creator like Future, and you think that he's so great and wonderful and you want to live a life like that, like you aspire to be a Future, you think that that's good, you think of Nick Cannon, you think he's a good guy, you think somebody like a Fetty Wap who's making, I don't know, 10 kids spread across the United States of America, you think that they're good guys, and then you think Russell Wilson, who was raising his family inside the home, is a simp? Okay, well, I just don't respect your opinion. We're not the same. And I go over there. Like, live your life. But we don't agree. Again, everyone you deem a simp, send them over here. I have ladies who will know exactly what to do with a simp. Okay. Half of them don't know protection of a partner, children, and family until they will give him a simp status for this. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Will showed them last night. I bet he will think twice before joking about Black women's appearance publicly. I pray that that's the case. I pray that he thinks real hard when he's writing his jokes. Leave Black women alone. When Chris Rock sits his little crusty, dusty self down to write his jokes, leave Black women alone. Well, the black male worshipping bras are delusional, like the one content creator who's obsessed with black women expanding their options because she wants black women to trauma bond. Girl, it's too many of those for me to even know which one you're talking about. There's too many of them for me to know exactly which one. There's a lot of trauma bond channels, okay? So I'm not even sure which one that is. There's a lot of trauma bond channels that will keep you stuck in the mud and you won't be able to move forward. All right. Like, how are men like Russell Wilson being simps for taking care of their women and children? The mentality is what's wrong with the Black community. Yeah. And we have to separate ourselves from these people. And this is the toxicity of the Black male collective that is very hard to raise a good Black son because he will be sucked into the toxicity of the black male collective that discourages him from standing up for women. It discourages him from protecting his girlfriend or wife or object of his affection or any woman for that matter and being of service to women and children. It discourages that and it encourages a behavior of pimp-like behavior, philandering, drugging, being irresponsible, being lazy, and also living off of women, rather than living off of their grandmother, living off of their aunties, living off of their girlfriend, living off of their child's mother, living off of their sister. They encourage black males to live off of a woman. They're like parasites, they're like leeches, you know? That will just implant themselves and suck the life force out of black women. They don't see, the collective does not teach them to contribute and create a good environment for your wife to thrive. That is foreign language to these people. It's foreign. And so that's why honestly conversations oftentimes they're mute before they begin because it's like we aren't even speaking the same language. So I would never answer like, "What do you bring to the table?" I would never try to answer that question because if you honestly, you don't value women, so there's no answer that I could ever give you that would be satisfactory. So I wouldn't even engage in that conversation. I wouldn't even engage in it. I literally wouldn't. Yeah, I totally would not. It's not worth it. It won't yield anything. So, Team Will right here. Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, I'm totally Team Will. I just think that we have to just speak out when there's a man that defends Black women's honor, because it's going to help us as a collective of Black women, those of us who are interested in um, changing our global image. There are many of us who are. And yeah, it's hard to separate ourselves from the others, but we can definitely keep trying to make a distinction between who we are, and what we stand for and how we move in the world. Divested Power Ranger Gang says it's the worst in comedy. Tracy Morgan said something out of the way about Tiffany Haddish, and Faison Love said something about Nicole Byer. Okay, I didn't see that clip, but it might pass by. Yeah, it might pass by my desk or something. I haven't seen it thus far, but yeah, this was a moment for not only Jada, but for all Black women, because like I said, this particular condition affects a lot of Black women. And I feel that Black women, we need imagery out there of us looking different. Yes, I love my wigs, but I think it's good for us to have this image out here because she looks absolutely stunning and beautiful and elegant. And she doesn't need a wig. She doesn't need a wig. She's gorgeous just the way she is. So I'm here for this imagery as a Black woman. I'm here for a Black woman showing beauty in different ways. you know, and I'm here for a man taking a stand for his wife's honor. I'm here for it. Okay. So that's my thoughts, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk soon, okay? Peace and love.